Hello viewers, welcome to video lecture on applications of Gauss law. I am Dr. P. Ramakrishna, Assistant Professor of Physics, Government Degree College, Kamareddy. In this video lecture, we will derive expressions for electric field intensity in the case of linear charge distribution. Sometimes this may also applicable for cylindrical charge distribution. This topic of applications of Gauss law is a part of chapter electrostatics in electromagnetic theory paper of BSc Physics syllabus. Before discussing our actual topic, let us have a quick recap of the useful things. First one, electric field intensity. Electric field intensity at any point in the electric field is given by electric force acting per unit positive charge. Mathematically, it is equal to E is equal to F by Q naught, where Q naught is the test charge. Electric field intensity in the electric field of charge q at a distance r is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught times q by r square. Its unit is Newton per coulomb or volt per meter. Next one is electric field lines. Electric field lines are also called as electric lines of force. They are the imaginary path in the electric field along which a unit positive charge is supposed to move in the field. Next topic is electric flux. It is number of electric lines of force passing through given surface held perpendicular to the direction of flow. Mathematically, it is equal to dot product of electric field intensity and area vector. Equation is phi E is equal to E dot A. It can also be written as EA cos theta, where theta is the angle between field vector and area vector. The units of electric flux are Newton meter per coulomb, or it can also be said in terms of voltmeter. Next thing is Gauss law. It can be stated as total normal flux coming out of any closed surface is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times total charge enclosed in that surface. Mathematically, it is written as phi E is equal to closed surface integral of E dot ds, which is equal to q by epsilon naught. These are the preliminary things which are useful in our present topic. Our present topic is electric field due to uniformly charged cylinder. The same thing can also be expressed as linear charge distribution. A linear charge distribution is the one for which the radius of cross section is very small when compared to its length. From the figure, we can see that the electric field, from the figure we can observe that the radius of cross section of this charge distribution is very small when compared to the length. Here it is extended on both sides. It is not limited to these 2 points. It is extended on both the sides up to infinity. So such a distribution is called as linear charge distribution. If we consider some part of this one, it will become cylinder. So the concept which we are discussing in this tutorial can be applied for both linear charge distribution as well as for uniformly charged cylinder. Question may come sometimes on cylinder or sometimes on linear charge distribution, but the answer is one and the same. Only the difference is linear charge distribution extends over infinite length, whereas cylinder is limited to certain length of distribution. Before, in order to derive the expressions, we require two quantities. They are linear charge density. Usually it is denoted by lambda, which is equal to Q by L. Charge per unit length is called as linear charge density. In the same line, the charge per unit volume is called as volume charge density. Mathematically, it is equal to rho is equal to Q by pi r square L. These things are useful when we take a part of this infinite long distribution. Now we are very much familiar that to find out electric field intensity we observe three cases. First one, outside the distribution, second, on the surface of the distribution, third, within the distribution. So based on these three things we will discuss one by one. First, let us take the distribution, the point outside the distribution. Let our point of observation be outside the distribution. For that, let us assume a point here with a distance small r from the axis of our linear charge distribution. We are considering a point outside the charge distribution at a distance small r from the axis of this charge distribution. Now let us see, to find out electric field at this point we need to construct a Gaussian surface. If we construct a Gaussian surface, it will be cylindrical in shape as shown in figure. Now we have to find out electric field intensity at this point. For that we require, it is required to find out electric flux coming out of this Gaussian surface. For that, what do? We take three area elements on the three surfaces of this Gaussian surface. This Gaussian surface has three planes, two planes, circular planes on both the ends and one curved surface. Let us also assume that the length of this cylinder be capital L. Let's assume a small area elements on the both circular ends as well as on the curved surface as shown in figure, with the area vectors as shown in figure in each case. As this is linear charge distribution, the electric field will always act radially outward. So in all the three cases, the electric field will be acting radially upward as shown in figure. Radially outward, here it appears as acting in the upward direction. Now from the figure we can say that the angle between area vector and electric field in the case of circular surfaces on the both the ends is 90. E and ds are normal to each other, perpendicular to each other on both the circular end surfaces. So the flux, which is dot product of E and ds, will be 0. So we can expect the flux contribution only through this curved surface. The total flux coming out of this Gaussian cylinder will be equal to only to the flux coming out of this curved surface. So the flux coming out of this small area element is given by d phi e is equal to E dot ds, which is equal to eds cos 0, which is equal to eds. Now let us find out the total flux coming out of this Gaussian surface. For that, what do? We integrated this over entire surface. If we integrate it over entire surface, then phi e is equal to surface integral of E dot ds, which is equal to E times closed surface integral of ds. Since E is constant at every point on the curved surface, we have written it outside the integration. Now, closed surface integral of ds, which is nothing but total curved surface area of the cylinder. Curved surface area of the cylinder with radius r and length L is equal to 2 pi RL. So the flux coming out of the cylindrical Gaussian surface is equal to E times 2 pi RL. From Gauss law, it can be equated to Q by epsilon naught, where Q is the charge enclosed in that cylinder. Now let us replace this charge by linear charge density. From earlier equations, we know that linear charge density lambda is given by Q by L. From that, we can rewrite it as Q is equal to lambda L. Here we are replacing charge Q by lambda L. In this equation, L on both sides will cancel each other. After rearranging the terms, we will get the expression for electric field intensity outside the charge distribution as E equal to lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught R. Sometimes this expression, in this expression, this lambda may be replaced by some other symbol in some textbooks, but usually linear density is denoted by lambda only. The format will be same. For the point of observation outside the cylinder, the electric field intensity equation is E is equal to lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught R. If we take point on the surface, we replace this small r by capital R. So the expression becomes lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught capital R. These expressions can also be derived in terms of volume charge density. Some texts derive expressions in terms of volume charge density. Let us see those alternative derivations. In the for first case, the alternative derivation is like this. Up to here, up to this equation, in the both the cases, it is same. Here on the left side, we are replacing Q by Q in terms of linear charge density. Instead, if we replace it by volume charge density, we will get this equation. In this equation, pi L will get cancelled and we will get the equation as E is equal to capital R square rho by 2R epsilon naught. Here the rho is the volume charge density. Similarly, for the second case, the alternative derivation comes out to be like this. E is equal to capital R rho by 2 epsilon naught. It is very simple. In this equation, if we replace small r by capital R, one r will get cancelled and we will get this equation. Let us see the third case. The third case is point inside the cylinder. Point inside the cylinder. In the case of point inside the cylinder, we get small r less than capital R. Let us go back to figure again. Let this be the linear charge distribution and let us assume a point inside the distribution. Notice the change. Earlier the point of observation was outside. Now it is inside. Let the distance of this point of observation from the axis is equal to small r. In order to find out the electric field intensity at this point, we need to construct a Gaussian surface. Let us construct a Gaussian surface. It will be cylindrical in shape as shown in figure. Same thing will continue. Let us assume that the length of the cylinder be L dash. Let the charge enclosed in the cylinder be Q dash. Because different amount of charge will be enclosed in this. Let us assume it as Q dash. To find out that Q dash is given by pi r square capital L into rho. In order to find out the flux coming out of this Gaussian surface, we will assume three small area elements on three surfaces as shown in figure. The directions of field vector and area vector are shown in each case. Again we notice that for circular end surfaces, flux contribution becomes 0 as E and ds are perpendicular to each other. We observe flux contribution only from this curved surface. From this curved surface, cylindrical curved surface. For the end surfaces, the flux contribution is 0. We notice the flux coming out of only through this curved surface. Okay. And flux coming out of this small area element will be E dot ds. When we find out total flux coming out of the entire Gaussian surface, it will be phi E is equal to closed surface integral of E dot ds. Here again we bring E out of the integration, so it becomes E times closed surface integral of ds, which is equal to E times 2 pi RL. Now we equate this to Q dash by epsilon naught according to Gauss law. If we equate it and we replace Q dash by this equation, here we replace again this rho by its original form for entire distribution. It will be like this: Q by L. Q by L can be replaced as lambda in this case, and pi r L will cancel on both sides. We will get back this equation. After rearranging the terms, we will get this equation: E is equal to r lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught r square. We are not cancelling here. Here they are cancelled. Pi r L are cancelled, and after cancelling we will get this equation. The same thing can also be derived alternatively in terms of volume charge density. Here, instead of replacing volume charge density by this equation, this expression, we will continue with the same thing. If we continue with the same thing, pi RL will cancel on both sides. We will remain with E is equal to R times rho by 2 epsilon naught. If we denote electric field intensity pictorially, graphically, it will be like this. Inside the cylinder, it is directly proportional to R. Small r is nothing but distance of point of observation. Notice that in both the derivation, it is the dependency is same. E is directly proportional to R here also. So within the cylinder, it will be directly proportional to distance of point of observation. On the surface it is constant, outside it is inversely proportional to distance of point of observation. Notice the difference from spherical charge distribution. In the case of spherical charge distribution, it was E proportional to 1 by R square, but in the case of cylinder, it is E proportional to 1 by R. So this is the difference from sphere to cylinder. Let us conclude it. If we see the conclusion, the first case, outside the cylinder, electric field intensity in terms of linear charge density is written like this, and in terms of volume charge density it is written like this. On the surface they are lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught r, or in terms of volume charge density it is capital R rho by 2 epsilon naught. Inside the surface they are equal to R lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught R square, or it can also be written in terms of volume charge density as R rho by 2 epsilon naught. With this we conclude this tutorial. In this tutorial we have learnt about calculating or finding out electric field intensity due to uniformly charged cylinder or linear charge distribution. Thank you for watching the video. Keep on watching our videos. Thank you.